A member of the Andromeda Galaxy's very own Trisol system, the MIKKHHALIAN Isles is a large terrestrial Saturn-sized planet. The MIKKHHALIAN Isles is a melting pot of both ecological and cultural diversity, with each of its continents seeming to be split into its own sort of biome. This planet is called home by many sapient species, including my own species of the Catmericons, even though I wasn't raised here. Each of the MIKKHHALIAN Isles' continents has a sort of mascot to go along with it. Coriopolis has the Catmericons, Geryon has the Durmax, the False Saccharas have the Arbosaurs, and of course, Zescherherp is the fiery Fuegan. Possessing a thick, greenhouse-like atmosphere of oxygen and nitrogen, the MIKKHHALIAN Isles is in fact habitable by most species standards. The important distinction here is that habitable doesn't necessarily mean survivable. I mean, you could live off potatoes and butter your whole life, but you'd end up looking like a Sardonian gourmand. Starting off with one of its better-known continents, Kleptogenaki. This forest is more than alive, and is absolutely chock full of trees and mycological phenomena. So far, a mascot species for this continent goes undiscovered. Next up is Kleptogenakia's sister continent, Geryon. Mostly deprived of water except for the rare few rainstorms or oases, everything that lives on Geryon is thick, or scaly, or chitinous. Geryon is basically nothing but an expansive desert. However, it does have some absolutely beautiful, gorgeous, expansive cave systems. To add further on to that, the Durmax, Geryon's mascot race, actually call those caves home. Shpluta's up next, and it is a wonder beyond word. It may be lacking in a mascot race to call its own, however, Shpluta is nothing short of a scientific marvel. You see, the brown rim that Shpluta is surrounded by is actually mountainous rock pushed up from volcanic activity, filled to the brim with an ocean, Shpluta's ocean. Next is Niam, located squarely next to Shpluta. This coastal continent is rife with tropical paradise beauty and loving, food-happy people. Nyamian residents are known to offer open arms to all who enter their home. However, be warned, the Namians get quite aggressive with their sports. Next is the continent with a kick-ass moniker, the False Saccharas. While its name may have you thinking of anime-style cherry blossom trees, it's actually quite deceiving in name. While the Saccharas are home to plenty of Sakura trees, they are also home to iron-rich black deserts as well as coral plains. Very little is known about the coral plains or even False Saccharas themselves, as the terrain is quite shifty and can be quite dangerous to trek. That's not even to mention the resident mascot species, the Arbosaurs, who are known to be quite hostile to foreigners. And ultimately is the volcanic Zescherherp. While it may just look like a piece of volcanic rock from up high, albeit a continent-sized one, for one, it is home to its mascot race, the Fuegan, who are very testy and very defensive about their home. Two, it's quite the marvel. You see, Zescherherp's high volcanism has been going on for centuries. By now, it almost certainly should have shook itself apart. However, the amount of magma it produces is so great it can actually sort of glue the pieces of itself back together. Fascinating stuff, huh? And finally, Coriopolis, the southern pole of the MIKKHHALIAN Isles. While it is home to snow, ice, and all manner of frigid water, it is still a very lived-in continent. Its mascot race, the Catmericons, call it home. It's a popular tourist destination. On a clear night, you might catch the MIKKHHALIAN equivalent of the Aurora Borealis.